Richard, did you know that there is a day that celebrates beer and pizza?
Beer and pizza? You mean together?
Yeah. Beer and Pizza Day celebrates one of the world's best combinations of food and drink. So for this week's podcast at English.com, we're talking about food and drink together.
So when you say beer and pizza, you really mean lager, don't you? It's the type of beer that Italians and Americans drink.
Yeah. So what about dark beer, Richard, then? A stout like Guinness. What do you think goes well with Guinness?
I like the dark, strong beers like Guinness. Beef stew, something strong.
Now, they always say, don't they, that red wine goes with meat, red meat, and white wine goes with fish.
Yes, and all seafood, yes.
Now, I don't eat meat. I think red wine is perfect with cheese.
And interesting you say white wine and seafood, because I do know the most expensive white wine with bubbles.
You mean champagne?
Yes. Now, they do say that champagne goes very well with an expensive seafood.
Crab?
No, lobster. Champagne and lobster.
Well, something for us to try when we have a bit more money, I think.
Maybe.
Okay, what about cider, Richard? What do you think goes well with cider?
Well, they make cider with apples, so maybe cider goes best with fruit, perhaps. Perhaps apple pie.
That sounds good. Now, not forgetting, of course, tea and coffee. So what do you like to have with coffee?
Well, you know, I always have a coffee with my breakfast.
In the morning.
Exactly. But if we have a coffee in the afternoon, coffee and cake. Coffee and chocolate cake. Delicious.
Yeah, that sounds good. And actually, I think, sounds a bit boring, but I think the best thing to go with tea is a biscuit, a cup of tea and a digestive biscuit, please.
You know what I think goes well with a good cup of tea?
Go on.
A plate of fish and chips.
Oh, okay, for supper.
Yes.
Right. Well, you know what I think goes best with lager?
A packet of cheese and onion crisps.
For British tourists, Spain is the most popular country for a summer holiday.
Yes. Sun, sea and sand. The perfect beach holiday. But for this week's podcast on English.com, we have some information to make sure your holiday stays perfect.
Yeah, there are lots of new rules and regulations in Spain, and many of these rules are about the beach.
Yes. Now, summer nights in Spain are warm, so it sounds like a nice idea to camp on the beach.
But this is illegal in Spain.
So no camping, no tents.
Yeah, and the police will move you, and you may pay a fine.
Of?
Up to, listen, €1,500.
Wow, that's a lot. But what about just sleeping on the sand then? Maybe in a sleeping bag?
Nope, this is also illegal.
Why?
Well, actually, it's dangerous for two reasons, right? First of all, someone may take your money, your bags, etc., while you're sleeping. Plus, Richard, here in Portugal, we see the tractors on the beaches, right? They go out at night and they clean the beaches. So it's possible they don't see you sleeping on the beach.
That's a very good point. Okay then, so I have a nice caravan or a camper van. I can park near the beach and see the sea from there?
Yes, but only in official car parks and only if you park. So you can't get out your tables and chairs and things like that. However, Richard, there are a number of official campsites along the coast and next to the beach, and they're all possible.
But they must be official campsites.
Exactly.
So book early to avoid disappointment.
Another important thing, Richard, swimwear is only for the beach.
And what do you mean by that?
Men can't walk around on public streets wearing swimming trunks and without a shirt. And women can't wear a bikini or swimwear.
I'm in favour of that. Only on the beach then. So is there a fine for this as well?
Yes, €300.
Okay, fair enough.
So keep your shirt on.
I will.
Something else, Richard, which is important. Many Spanish beaches, as you know, have beach showers. But you can't use soap or shampoo.
Why not?
Well, because of the chemicals goes into the water and it's dangerous for the animals in the sea.
Don't tell me there's another fine involved.
Yeah, €750.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and also something else very important, Richard, talking about the protecting the environment and everything, is on many beaches, not all, but in many beaches in Spain now, it is illegal to smoke.
Right, okay. But you are smoking outside.
Yeah, but it's not the smoke, it's the end of the cigarette.
The cigarette butt.
Yeah. Now, that goes into the sea, you see,
Right.
and it gets eaten by the animals. So be careful. If you smoke on a beach where smoking is illegal,
There's another fine.
exactly, €30.
Right. So enjoy Spain, but read the rules first.
Exactly. For this week's podcast on English.com, we have another podcast in our British Icon series. This time we talk about two meals which are very, very British. My favourite, the full English breakfast.
And my favourite is the Sunday roast. So, Jackie, tell us about the full English breakfast.
Well, it's a cooked meal, right? And it's very, very large. Now, there can be a number of different things, but usually it has bacon,
Crispy,
fried egg,
or even two,
sausage,
or two.
or three, fried mushrooms, baked beans, and fried tomatoes.
But you've missed something, Jackie.
Yeah, it comes with either fried bread or lots of buttered toast, and often a large cup of tea.
That's a lot of fried food.
I know it is, isn't it? And that's why sometimes it's called a fry-up.
It's not very healthy, though, is it, Jackie?
Not at all.
So it would definitely be wrong to say that we eat this every morning.
No, in fact, we never have it at home, do we? But it's very popular to eat out in a cafe or a pub. We had a great one the last time we visited the Isle of Man.
Yes, and it's not just for breakfast, though, is it?
No, many cafes serve it all day. It's delicious.
Yes, but not as delicious as the Sunday roast.
Okay, Richard, tell us what's the Sunday roast then?
Well, a Sunday roast is a traditional British meal that's usually served on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's roasted. It's roasted meat.
What, beef, lamb or chicken normally, isn't it?
Yes. With roast potatoes, Yorkshire pudding, and lots of other vegetables. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, cauliflower,
Parsnips?
parsnips, yes, I love parsnips, or peas.
Now, and of course, Richard, lots and lots of hot gravy.
Yes, delicious.
Now, so what is Yorkshire pudding?
It's called Yorkshire pudding, but it's very popular throughout Britain. And it's made It's the same as pancakes with eggs, flour and milk, but it's cooked in the oven, not in a frying pan. You can either have one big one or lots of small ones.
It sounds very strange. Why do we have that?
Well, in the past, the pudding was served first, so therefore it makes you less hungry for the more expensive meat afterwards. But now we eat it all at the same time.
Now, we do have this on a regular basis. You make it most weekends.
Yes, especially roast chicken. That's my favourite meal of the week.